So let's get on to 7 steps to build momentum. So this, I have referred to this book called Good to Great by Jim Collins and picked up something from there and how it is applicable to our business. Those of you who've not read this book, I would recommend that you read this book. Okay. So he says that great organizations, they've had these 2 stages, the build up and breakthrough. In build up, there are 6 elements. Okay. Sorry, in this entire piece, there are 6 pieces that we will be looking at. So these are the 6 steps. The first one is level 5 leadership. I'll speak a little bit more about it in the next slide. First, who, then what? Confront brutal facts. The hedgehog concept. Culture of discipline. And technology accelerators. This can be divided into 3: disciplined people, disciplined thought, and disciplined action. These are the 3 things. So discipline in people, discipline in the kind of thought that we have, and discipline action is something which helps us build momentum in our business. Momentum is something which increases the speed of turnaround. It increases the rate of return as well. All right. So let's look at all of them one at a time. So level 5 leadership. What is level 5 leadership? Level 1 is a highly capable individual. All of us are capable individuals. As single people, we are able to achieve a lot. So I request you to please give a pat on your back for being a highly capable individual. So just write in the chat box, highly capable individual. I am a highly capable individual. Let us see how many of you acknowledge that. The second one is a contributing team member. Okay, we may be great individuals. We are also able to work as team members. We contribute to others, we collaborate with others, and that is how we are able to do more than what 2 individuals would be able to do. The third level of competency is being a competent manager, wherein I not only do my own work, I'm also able to manage a team and get work done from others. All right. Fourth is an effective leader. Somebody who gets work done from other people and is able to manage multiple teams. As an entrepreneur, somebody who wants to succeed in life, somebody who wants to achieve higher levels of success, we need to be a level 5 executive. A level 5 executive is somebody who is able to inspire others, somebody who's able to inspire confidence in the entire team, in the entire organization, somebody who is able to lead from front. He need not do things himself, but he has such an aura, he has such conversations that he is able to get work done with minimal intervention. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to create a high level of momentum, you must graduate to the next level. If you are a highly capable individual, become a contributing team member. If you are a great team member, become a competent manager. If you are a competent manager, become a great leader. And if you already are a great leader, become a level 5 executive. That is the bare minimum requirement for a great organization. If this is something which has opened something new for you, please write in the chat box level 5 executive. Or maybe just level 5. If you aspire to be a level 5 executive, or if you are one already, please write in the chat box level 5. Beautiful. So we've got a few of you who are saying level 5. Great. So welcome to your journey of being a great organization or creating a great organization. Sorry. Now let us look at what is the second step of building great momentum in your team or in your company. He says, first who, then what? Leaders begin the transformation by getting the right people on the bus. And in the same breath, he says, and the wrong people off the bus. Okay. It is important to have a great team. And in that team, if there are some people who are sucking your energy, you really need to get them off the bus. You need to get them off the team. Only then you will be able to create and cause great things in your business. So what is more important is get the wrong people off. That is important. So you need to identify the people who are sucking energy, who are not contributing, and set them aside. Either give them another role where they are more competent, or get them off the business altogether. If this is something which is something new for you, something valuable for you, write in the chat box, wrong people off the bus. All right, wrong people off the bus. So he says, who questions come before what decisions? So what that means, sorry, when you come across a good guy, a good resource, get the person on board. You can always think of it, what to get done. Sorry. So get the right people on, have that knack. Sorry. Have the knack of selecting right people and getting them onto your team. All right. Put your best people on your best opportunities, not your best problems. Very often what happens is we put our best people wherever there is the biggest problem. That is suicidal. Or I end up dealing with the worst problem that I have. In that process, I'm losing my energy, time, efficiency, everything. And in return, I'm not getting anything. So if this is an aha moment for you, write in the chat box, best people, best opportunities. Best people, best opportunities. So the second step to building great momentum in your business is first who, then what. Get the right people on the team. Sorry. And then you figure out what you want to do. All right. Sorry. Third step is confront brutal facts. Don't be lenient with yourself. When you see that there is a pitfall, address that immediately. Don't leave it for tomorrow. Okay. Question what's so. Look at the gap and consider that every failed attempt is a learning. So I was reading this one book. I don't remember the name right now. But in that, the company, they experimented something and that experiment failed. The person who was leading this experiment He thought that now his day is over in the company, and he went with his resignation to his boss. The answer that the boss gave was that I am not leaving you. I have just spent $6 million to get you educated. Why would I let go of this resource? Right? So this is confronting brutal facts. A failed attempt is a learning. You don't have to let go of the learning which you get out of it. Conduct autopsies. Okay. Look at what went wrong, why did it go wrong, why did it not work? Because once you do that, put in that effort, you will be able to do great things in future. And within the organization, build red flag mechanisms. Wherever you see that there may be a pitfall, capture that information so that either we don't repeat it or we steer away from it. And keep it in mind, questions are the answers. Every time there is a question, you will find an answer. So for the third step, write in the chat box, questions are the answers. Questions are the answers. Let's move to step 4. This is the hedgehog concept. Okay. What it means, the sweet spot of your business is at the center of 3 circles. The first circle is, what are we deeply passionate about? So for me, growth in business is what I'm passionate about. The second circle is, what can we be the best in the world at? Okay. For me, it is business transformation. I am the best in business transformation. I can sit with you, discuss your business threadbare, and in a couple of hours, we will have a number of solutions to transform your business, whichever stage in business you are in. All right. And the third and the most important is, what drives our economic engine? Where do we make money? Where I make money is growth hacking. All right. So the sweet spot is this blue piece in the middle, which is the common area between what we are deeply passionate about, what we can be best in the world at, and what drives our economic engine. You might want to make a note of these 3 points. What are we deeply passionate about? And question yourself, look at what are you deeply passionate about. You might be wondering why should I be worried about what I passionate about? Because I'm running a business. Please consider, you are the source of your business. So whatsoever you are passionate about, your business is passionate about that. Whatsoever you are best in the world at, the business is the best in the world at it. And the thing for which you can generate money, your business can generate money. All right.
So why it is called hedgehog concept?
Great. Thank you for asking this question, sir. Do you know what is hedgehog?
Really, I don't know.
Okay. Do you know what's a porcupine?
No.
Okay.
They're different animals you're talking about.
Yes. So a porcupine is an animal. It's of the rodent family. Okay. It has a lot of needle kind of things on its body.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
it is so passionate about living that it is not afraid of anybody. So even if there is a tiger or a lion who is out to hunt a porcupine, what the porcupine does is the moment it senses any threat, it opens all its needles and it starts releasing them. So the moment the lion is trying to bite on it, the needles go into the mouth of the lion, and the hedgehog or the porcupine is able to go scot-free. Got it?
Okay.
So the porcupine is passionate about living. The porcupine is the best in the world at saving itself. And for it, it does not have an economic engine, but that is life. What gives him life? So the ability of the porcupine to release those needles gives it a new life every time it is under threat. Can you get that?
Yeah, understood. So, okay. So sustainability.
Yeah, sustainability, survival.
Survival,
right?
yeah. That's a better word, yeah.
As a business, we don't want to survive. As a business, we want to thrive.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for asking this question. In asking this question, you made it clear to many others who wanted to ask but did not ask.
Okay.
So
Thank
does
you.
this give some clarity?
Definitely. So, okay.
So if you've got this concept, what I just shared, please write in the chat box, thrive, THRIVE, because we are here to thrive, not to survive.
But how are you bringing this concept of sweet spot where all these three circles meet?
So let us say I'm very passionate about growth in business. Okay. And I am the best in the world at transformation. But if I'm not making money out of it, in some time, my energy will die out because I will not be able to survive myself, right?
Yeah. So all three objectives are to converge.
Absolutely.
Only
When they converge, will we have the sweet spot.
Yeah, understood.
Now let us take the other piece. I'm the best in the world at business transformation and I'm making a lot of money, but I'm not passionate about it. So if I'm not passionate about it, in some time, people will start realizing that, or I will not feel good about it and I will stop making money out of it. So again, this will crash. Make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Now the third angle. Okay. I'm very passionate about it and I'm making a lot of money, but I'm not a great resource. So if I am not able to explain you well, I will not have Mr. Mukherjee coming in again.
Yeah.
Right. And if Mukherjee does not come in, he will not bring Mr. Chatterjee and Banerjee and others. Right.
Yeah.
And if they don't come, I again don't make money.
Thank you, Atul. Thank you.
My pleasure. I look forward that you will give me money sometime soon now.
Thank
All
you.
right. Now,
Sure.
so see, this is something which is very, very important for our businesses. Please spend some time to look at what are you passionate about? What can you be the best in the world at, and what drives your economic engine? Where can you make money? The purpose of a business is to make money. There is no shying away from it. Okay. And if you realize that you are in a business which is not making money or which is not doing well, I promise you that one of these three things is missing. Or one of these, you need to work on at least one of these three things.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
So we've got only two people who are here to thrive. Okay, no problem. Others are probably here for some good time. That's okay. So how do you discover your hedgehog concept? I'm talking about your business. All right. So how do you do is, as I said, questions are the answers. You start with questions, the three questions. All right. As a team, you dialogue and debate. What am I passionate about? How can I make money? What can I be the best in the world at? Keep on thrashing it, keep on thrashing it, and then make some decisions around it. Okay. And then definitely see, analysis is very important. Something which goes wrong, look at why did it go wrong. Similarly, things which work well, even there do an autopsy. Look at what is it that caused that success to happen so that you do more of it. All right. And keep on doing the same again. It's an iterative process. This is how, so in the first go, you will never ever get the sweet spot. Okay. So first you might come closer to the sweet spot. The next time you go through a cycle, you'll come still closer till the time it becomes laser sharp. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Thank you. The step 5 is culture of discipline. Okay. Adhere to consistent system. So consistency is very important. Okay. If it so happens that once you come and ask for something, next time you come, you don't even follow up on it, and you're talking about yet some other thing, your team will not believe in you. And the kind of activities, the kind of results that you are looking for in business, you will not get those. Okay. Next is give enough freedom and responsibility within the framework. Okay. Only when your team owns it up will they enjoy it. And if they enjoy it, you will get better results. Okay. So like in the step 2, I said, get the right people on the bus and wrong people off the bus. Similarly, have the willingness to shun opportunities that fall outside the 3 circles. Very often we end up doing things which are not our core competencies. A lot of our energy, time, resources get invested in things which are not going to bring in dollars to us, bring in rupees to us. So please be disciplined enough, have the courage to not do certain things. Make sense? Hello?
Sure. Definitely, yeah.
So stop doing list is as important as the to-do list. So if this is something which is an aha moment, which is something new for you, which is something valuable for you, please write in the chat box, stop doing. So stop doing is more important than doing. All right.
It's very difficult though. You know, to really to say no to certain things becomes a very difficult proposition, isn't it?
It was very difficult to land on the planet also.
Well said.
And by the way, on a lighter vein, all of us are successful by design. Okay. The day our mother conceived, there were a million other sperms which were fighting for the same egg. And it was only one sperm which landed there.
Yes.
Rest could not.
Yeah.
In some cases, there were two who landed and there became a twin.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So that is how life is.
Yeah. True. Very true.
All right.
Yeah.
So anything that does not fit within your hedgehog concept, please don't do it. Okay. So what you see in the image on the left hand side, There are hierarchical organizations, the blue ones, okay, which have a very high level of discipline, okay. And in terms of entrepreneurship, they are low on entrepreneurship. They are driven by the hierarchy. Okay, very disciplined. So let us take the organization of, let us say, railways. Okay, railways is a monolithic organization, a huge organization, one of the largest enterprises on this planet, Indian Railways. Very hierarchical, right?
Yeah.
Very high level of discipline. With the amount of rolling stock that they have, the kind of, there are very few accidents which actually happened. We are a few days from the previous major accident which happened, but yet with the amount of work that they do, the number of accidents is very few, and they learn from every accident, right? So there is a high level of discipline there, but entrepreneurship is not there. So that's a hierarchical organization, right?
Yeah.
Then we've got the bureaucratic organization, the government, right? We are in love with the Indian government. It is low on discipline and low on entrepreneurship. Right?
Yeah.
That's the number 4, the green in the bottom corner.
Yeah.
And then on the right hand side, there is a startup organization, which is very high on entrepreneurship. And unfortunately, very low on discipline. That is the reason why more than 80% of startups, they fail. Not 80%, more than 95% of startups, they fail. Imagine there are 80,000 plus startups which are registered in India, and only 125 are unicorns today.
Yeah.
That tells something about it, right? Now let us look at the organization that we want to create, the great organization. This is high on discipline and high on entrepreneurship. Okay. So entrepreneurship does not mean that you as the owner are the only entrepreneur there. Everybody within the organization is an entrepreneur. You may call him an intrapreneur. Does that make sense?
True.
All right.
Sure.
So let me give you another interesting piece over here. Do you know what gives us the confidence to drive fast in a vehicle when I'm on the driving seat? We've got so many controls in a vehicle, right?
Yeah.
What
But
gives me the confidence?
the brake,
Awesome. That's the brake, right?
brake. Yeah.
Right? If my brake is fine, I will drive at 120 kilometers per hour with complete confidence, right? That is similar to the stop doing list in my business. If I'm great at stop doing things, I will go far and fast. So check the brakes in your business regularly. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So write in the chat box, check the brakes. So Commander Chavda says making entrepreneur is very difficult. Indeed. साहब difficult है तभी तो हम हैं. आसान होता तो खुद ही कर लेते ना. All right. Step 6 is technology accelerators. Everything is not to be done by the people. We need to use technology for that. All right. Use technology as an accelerator to build momentum. Crawl, walk, or run can be very effective approach even during times of rapid and radical technological changes. It is important that you see where you can use technology and to what extent. Okay. And then the 7th one is actually building momentum. Okay. Business transformation never happens in one step. It is an iterative process. Okay. It is a series of actions taken one after the other. And at times, series of actions taken in parallel also. There is a predictable pattern of build up and breakthrough, like pushing a giant heavy flywheel. It takes a lot of effort to get the thing moving at all. But with persistent pushing in a consistent direction over a long period of time, the flywheel builds momentum, eventually hitting a point of breakthrough. I want somebody to share, what do you mean by the word flywheel? Hello?
Yeah. So come again with your question again, please.
What do you mean by the word flywheel?
Word sliving.
The word flywheel,
Okay,
FLYWHWL.
okay.
So the
Oh,
flywheel, the
right.
mechanical device, you mean to say?
Yes, the mechanical device.
Okay.
Yes. Commander Chavda says flywheel energy store. So, Commander Chavda, can you please say slightly more about this so that it becomes clear for others as well?
Yeah, I meant actually that all our efforts are basically replicated into flywheel. And if you have to get these efforts into action, we have to follow the steps what you have brought in.
Absolutely. So, in many of the moving parts of the machines, there is a round kind of a structure which is generally called flywheel. So, what
Yeah.
happens is during the time when it is moving slow, when it is absorbing energy, at that time it is actually saving energy. And once it speeds up, then the flywheel in turn starts powering up. Does it make sense? हमें कई दफा ऐसा लगता है कि जी हम अपनी एफर्ट डाल रहे हैं और उसका कोई रिजल्ट्स नहीं दिखाई दे रहे.
So what you were saying in our entrepreneurship journey,
Yeah,
there will be certain period of time where we have to conserve energy as well, which will give us momentum, and in future that will help us increase our kinetic energy and build the momentum. That's what you are trying to say?
100% bang on. So many a times, many days, many weeks, many months, it might so happen that I'm putting action, putting my effort, and no results coming out. None of that goes waste. At one time, when it starts giving results, a small touch of yours gives you back a few $1 million. That is the flywheel piece.
Because we have some of the relationship which we have built over a period of time, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line. But at one point of time, that really pays heavily. You know,
Absolutely. That
you
is
know, we
exactly the
we
flywheel that I'm
invest
talking
we
about.
invest in the energy to be built for on the relationship, but that, of course, that is transformed to real money much later on. That happens everywhere.
Absolutely. So just see this. So this is what we spoke about today, right? Become a level 5 leader. First do who, then what. Confront the brutal facts, hedgehog concept, culture of discipline, and technology accelerators. Okay. These are individual steps. Okay. 6 steps. And the 7th step is flywheel. Keep on doing this as an iterative process. That is where the power is. That is the invisible thing. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So the relationship that you built 10 years ago, that will impact or that will show up maybe 3 years later.
Sure.
But then had you not built that relationship, 3 years later, it would not work for you, right?
Yeah, true.
That's what we're talking about. All right.
Sure.
So now, before we get into the 3 secrets, I invite all of you to share, at least 3 people to share what did you get out of the conversation so far, and if this has been valuable for you.
Of course, it's a very, very engrossing and energizing discussion, definitely. There is no doubt about it. In terms of building the momentum in a business. And of course, you talked about level 5 executive, which I understand as, the way I look at it, you have to start as an individual contributor, then you have to become a manager, then one day manager of managers. Then you have to become the level 5 executive. That's the way I look at it. And of course, you have put it very rightly. I mean, it's a great learning for me, at least.
Thank you. Anybody else? What are you taking back home? All right. So let me build on the level 5 executive once again. Let us take the example of a gentleman named Mukesh Ambani. Right? Anybody here who does not know Mukesh Ambani? हो सकता है.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Mukesh Ambani, he would have a few hundred companies, right? In a year of 365 days, let us say he actually has 270 days to work. And if he has a few hundred companies, there may be some companies to which he does not even spend 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes, or let us say half an hour in a year. Half an hour may be there to sign the papers and everything. But still those companies grow, still those companies, they flourish, still those companies, they continue to be in business, right? Now you tell me, in the current structure, how would that function? Unless this man behaves like a level 5 executive. In those 5 minutes or 10 minutes that he is speaking to the CEO of that company, he would ask those right questions, and the CEO will shit in his pants, right? And deliver those kind of results. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This is who a level 5 executive is. Do you aspire to be a level 5 executive?
Definitely we all. But of course, Mr. Ambani always talks about these mantras, what he always says publicly, at least. I mean, number one is courage. The entrepreneurial courage has to be there. Second, of course, he talks about the empathy, the caring and sharing, the wealth of the heart, which is important for him. And then he said technology and talent. And last but not the least, he talked about the business network, which he has built over these years. So that's why he's successful. He always says these are the 4 mantras for him to become what he is today. But now I'm trying to juxtapose this with what you said in terms of level 5 executive.
Yeah. See, courage, each one of us has. Empathy, we are empathetic human beings, right? We know something about technology, we do use it. And all of us do have a network. But there is something which is not really visible, sitting on top of it, which makes all the difference, right? Which makes a difference between the men and the boys, right?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Let's move on to the next one. So here we are talking about 3 secrets which will help you increase revenue, reach, and recognition in your business. The first one is become a weaver. Okay. So here is a term which I coined Okay, and this is something which I have delivered or created. At the bottom rank is a tea seller. It need not be a tea seller as such. It can be any sales piece. Okay. You want to have a tea, you go to a tea seller, you pay him, you drink tea and you move on. And then the next level of maturity is a hunter. Hunter, he finds a prey and gets it, right? Then there is a farmer who raises a crop and then harvests it. And then there is a weaver. Okay. So there is something which is written in the brackets. T is a transaction. Okay. So a tea seller is only into transactions. So larger the number of transactions, larger is the revenue and larger is the money that he takes back home. In case of a hunter, along with the transaction, hunter also has a skill set. He knows how to find a prey and how to hunt. That is a skill set that he has, right? Then a farmer, along with the skill set, he also has the knowledge. What kind of crop will grow in the kind of soil? How much water does it need? What kind of fertilizer does it need? In which season it will happen? All that is knowledge, right? The weaver brings another dimension to it, which is the process. Okay. How is the fiber converted into the thread? How is the thread converted into a fabric? And how do the designs come? How do you do all the various steps, right? So there are processes. So process, knowledge, skill, transaction. So here I invite each one of you to become a weaver. So while you were talking about Mukesh Ambani and you spoke about the network that he has, okay, he is also using a process to keep that network alive. All right. The larger a weaver you are, the more successful you would be. So like a level 5 executive, I invite you to be a weaver. So wherever you are, if you are great at transactions, push yourself to the next level where you have a skill set as well. You become a hunter. If you are already a hunter, push yourself with some extra knowledge to become a farmer. If you're already a farmer, push slightly more and become a weaver. If this is something which is valuable for you, please write in the chat box weaver. Okay. Let me show you or share with you how one of the brands, it weaves engagement. I'm sure you know this brand called McDonald's. McDonald's has a relationship with everybody who consumes McDonald's or does not consume McDonald's. Does not make any difference. But still they have a relationship with them. And how do they build it? They use a set of colors. They use a set of symbols. They use a set of rituals. Invariably, if you go with a family to a McDonald's outlet, your children will sit with Ronald and get a photograph click. That's a ritual, right? You walk into a McDonald's, there is a certain way in which you get into the queue and place your order. That's a ritual, right? There are jingles. It says, I'm loving it. Now, I'm loving it. The moment somebody says, I'm loving it, you start feeling hungry. You want to have a burger. There is a certain process. As I shared, you walk in and you stand in the queue and you place an order, only then you get it. Or if it is a drive-in, you drive in, you place an order, go around, and then you pick and you out. There are certain systems. So they've got a complete back-end system for delivery, pickup. How do they serve you? How do they take care of the outlet? All that plus, where will an outlet be? All those systems are in place. There are structures in place. There are certain scripts they use when they are speaking to us. All right. It is an institution in itself. And they contribute to the society in many ways. To many people, they give employment. To many people, they give knowledge. To many people, they give them food so that they're able to survive, and a lot more. So they are a contribution to the society, and they have a community around them. So this is how they are weaving engagement around them. In your business, are you weaving things? Are you being a weaver? Okay. One more chance, write in the chat box, weaver. All right. And then we move on to the second secret. The second secret is go up the ladder of influence. So this is what a sales look like. Char ka ek, char ka ek, char ka ek. This lady will sell her stuff, and if this is one of those days when it rains, she will have to sell her stuff at a discount by the end of the day because she does not have place to keep it. Second, even if she has place to keep it, if she does not sell this stuff, she will not have enough money to buy more vegetable tomorrow. So that is why she's in a perishable goods product business, and she's got to sell as much as possible today. So there is no tomorrow. Then there is referrals. Many of you who are there with some of the business networking organizations, you would understand what a referral is. But nature has its own way of creating and distributing. The honeybee goes on to one flower and then goes to the next one and then goes to the next one. In the process, it takes the pollen grains from one flower to the next flower to the next flower. This is how nature does referrals. This is how nature helps to create fruit from flowers. This is what you must also do for your business. Create a mechanism where there are honeybees who come and sit, get to know more about your business, and then go to another business, talk about your business, and in turn get you more business. If you are not doing it, learn more about it, think about it, and then you will be able to do more of it. So it's time that you graduated from sales to referrals. Next level of maturity is networking. You be like a farmer, wherein you prepare the field, you seed, you plant the seeds, then you take care of the crop till the time it matures, and then you harvest it. And the fourth one is leverage. Herein, I'll give the case study of Dainik Bhaskar. All right. Dainik Bhaskar started in 1958 in Bhopal. Till 1980, they were only in Bhopal, and they became the largest one in Bhopal. By 1995, they became number one in Madhya Pradesh. 96 is when they had their first edition outside of Madhya Pradesh, and that was Jaipur. By 2000, they dominated Chandigarh and Haryana. By 2003, they had launched Divya Bhaskar, which is in Gujarati, the first newspaper outside, which was not a Hindi newspaper for them. By 2015, they were India's largest circulated newspaper. By 2020, they were world's third largest circulated newspaper. India's number one newspaper group, India's largest circulated newspaper. This is leverage, my friends. What they learned from Bhopal, they implemented in Jaipur. What they learned from Bhopal and Jaipur, they implemented in Chandigarh. What they learned in Chandigarh and other cities, they deployed in Ahmedabad. So they gave Gujarat Samachar a run for their money. They gave Rajasthan Patrika a run for their money. And in many places, they would have given Times of India a run for their money. This is when you are being consistent, when you are consistently building momentum. If this is something which is new for you, this is something which is valuable for you, please write in the chat box leverage, Leverage. And then I move to the third secret. Be a leverage quadrant player. Okay. All of you or many of you would have heard this, the cash flow quadrant called ESBI. E stands for employee, S is self-employed, B is business owners, and I is investors. I'm using the same in a different perspective. Okay. Now let us look at the left-hand side. Okay. Left-hand side has employees and self-employed. More than 90% people on this planet are on the left-hand side. And they control less than 10%, actually a single digit of wealth on this planet. Their characteristic is they work alone and they sell their time for money, whether they're employees or self-employed. Now let us see how is life on the right-hand side. On the right-hand side, there are less than 10% of the people, and they control more than 90% of the wealth. What differentiates them from the people on the left-hand side is that they leverage. Mukesh Ambani knows he's a master in leveraging. Danik Bhaskar leverage their strength, their technology, their connections, and what they've learned from various places. They leveraged all that. They leveraged their network. And that is how they became what they became. All right. And every time they moved to the next level, they gained more momentum. And instead of selling time, they were using a system to make more time for themselves. If this is something which is interesting for you, please write in the chat box the leverage quadrant. Now let us look at on the right hand side what is there in the B piece. I call this as the leverage quadrant. Everybody may not be an investor, and there are no pure investors. The investors are also business owners who put a lot or some of their money as investments. So the leverage quadrant, they have an action plan, they have a leverage story, they have structures and systems which work for them. Here again, I'll give a case study, okay? The case study is of a relatively new organization called Chios. Okay. Chios started in year 2012. In the past 11 years, they've got more than 200 outlets in India and some other countries as well. They are in the business of creating experiences. Around a year back, so June 13th, exact 1 year back, they raised a Series C funding for 53 million US dollars. They have been leveraging their assets, okay? They have raised $93.5 billion till date. This is a dated thing. They might have raised even more in the past 1 year. As of now, there are 10 investors who have invested in them, and they have gone through 7 funding rounds. The systems and structures that they use is they use a franchisee model. They use technology to back the franchisee, and they've got a robust supply chain. This is what makes them who they are. So write in the chat box, be a leverage quadrant player. All right. You'll have to tweak your mindset, you'll have to tweak your skill set, and you'll have to tweak your action plan to cause this difference in your business. Now you've got 2 choices. Okay. These 2 choices is, the first choice is to have or continue doing a business by chance. Okay. A business by chance has a beginning. You start a business either by way of an inheritance. If you've done a great job at selecting a great father or a great mother who has a business to give to you, then you'll inherit a great business. The second way of beginning a business is experience. You may have been a great person in the corporate world, in the government world, in the defense world. You come with that experience and you put that experience to use. Or you come across a new trend. So right now, as the world is shifting from fossil fuel to electricity as a fuel, there are a large number of players who are investing in batteries. There are a large number of players who are getting into manufacturing of vehicles who were never into vehicles, right? Ola does not own even a single car till date, and they are the largest taxi, not largest, a big taxi player in this world, right? In India, at least. And they have invested into manufacturing of electric vehicles. There's a new trend and they are encashing on that. And last is my favorite. Many of us have been corporate honkos for a very long time. And then one fine day we are handed over a pink slip, over a drink, and we are asked to leave our laptop behind. And the next morning we become what? Entrepreneurs. So these are some of the ways in you become an entrepreneur. Then you start looking for growth. So you create a company, you get the first set of customers, and then your only job in life is to create a sale, sale, and sale. And then comes the beautiful piece, the bloodbath, which is called struggle. Your receivables start mounting in the market, your manpower starts giving you a hard time. The margins keep on shrinking every day. So this is business by chance, my friend. If you are able to relate to this, please write in the chat box BBC. BBC is business by chance. It is not British Broadcasting Corporation, who have not paid enough taxes in the country. All right. It is BBC, where you don't make enough money. Please write in the chat box if you are running a business which is business by chance. Okay, so just one BBC so far. Okay, two BBCs. Okay. All right, so the second choice you have is a business by design. A business by design starts with design. You are in the creation phase. You may not be a startup, but then you are behaving like a startup and you are driven by a future. You are a starry-eyed lad or a lass, and you want to create a great future. That is what keeps you driving. You lose your sleep over the nights and you're building your business. The next stage is development, which is the maintenance phase. Your business is growing and you're driven by present. How do I execute today? And then the third stage, which is diversify, which most of us have never thought of, is how do I diversify? How do I monetize my business? This is when your business becomes mature, you're able to duplicate it and you are able to divest, you're able to get out of it. This is business by design. If this is something exciting for you and you want to convert your business from BBC to BBD, please write in the chat box BBD. So this is the time for you to make the great shift from speaking to listening, from expenditure to investment, from my way or the highway to customer's way. Because remember, it's the customer who pays our bills. We are not doing the customer a favor. The customer is doing a favor by consuming our services. Each one of you has done me a favor because you have given a part of your life. You have invested your time by being here. So I'm really thankful to you for taking time out and being here. Okay. So make the shift of speaking to listening. Start listening to your customer. Expenditure to investment is invest in your customer. And my way to customer's way is wherein you start co-creating your business with your customer. Your customer is the most important stakeholder in your business. If your customer likes what you are doing, he will pay for you. If the customer does not like, he will shun you. All right. I invite you to make this great shift. So design brings workability. It also brings a state change. Design differentiates business by chance to business by choice or business by design. I invite you to run a business by design rather than having a business by chance. So are you committed for a state change? Write in the chat box, yes. If you are not committed for a state change, I have already delivered you what I was to deliver you for today. And the conversation is over.